Few hundred of you here already. Excellent. Can you just let me know that you can hear and see me okay before I get too far? And then I will tell you what happened to me this morning. Oh my goodness. And there's always a delay when you go live. Hello, Betty, Helene, Mayra. Okay, so you can all hear and see me okay. Excellent. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be with you. I wasn't planning on doing a live today, but then I had something just amazing happen to me this morning. So, as you know, I get up at 4 a.m. to start my meditations. But at 3 o'clock this morning, I was awoken, and there was clearly a presence in my room. I could sense something was there. My clairsentience was like off the charts at that moment. And I opened my eyes and I actually saw this light being. It was sort of in the shape of a man, but it was all this light, mostly golden white light, but a little bit of blue light mixed in there. And he had told me that he was Archangel Michael. And for those of you that know about me, yes, I do work with angels, but not usually Michael. Usually it's either Raphael or Gabriel that comes to me, but I don't typically see anything. And that's just what is so different for me this time, is that I was actually able to see something with my eyes. Because when I was younger, I would see really scary things. So I turned off my clairvoyance. So yeah, this was really just amazing. Um, and you know what the funny part is? This is because I've told you before about my brother that I live with, that we lived together because we was taking care of my mother. This morning, my brother asked me, what was going on in the house last night? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because he doesn't believe in any of this, right? And his bedroom is on the first floor and he's closer to the street. So I thought maybe he was hearing like the ambulances or the fire trucks, the police, because we're sort of in between all of that. And he was like, no, I kept seeing something out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah. And he's like, it just kept me up for the longest time. And I said, what time was it? And he goes, oh, it must have been after 3. And I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So there was definitely something here because I know when he sees something, oh boy, right? Um, oh, and I just saw that somebody donated. Thank you, KK Milky Way. That's awesome. Thank you. Um, and then when I looked at my phone, I picked up my phone after this whole experience, and it was 333. I was like, wow, this is just amazing. So he had some messages that I can share with you. And some of them are certainly warnings, and it's about what is coming up. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. He made that really quite clear. So what he said was July 23rd. Now I had to look this up because he said the full moon next week. So I had to look up, well, when's the full moon? July 23rd. And he said that is when, as a planet, you're shifting timelines. And by shifting timelines, it's going to bring us closer to fourth density, or for those of you who don't follow the law of one, that would be the fifth dimension. And it's not, he said, it's not easy when you shift timelines. It's going to cause a lot of upheaval. And there's a lot that energetically needs to be released from the planet. There's energetic things that are negative that still need to be released from the planet. Um, and he said part of this upheaval that we're going to begin to experience on July 23rd is the crumbling of old structures, foundations, these practices and beliefs that we had that don't serve us. They no longer serve us. These things need to come down. And so there's going to be like a purging, in a sense, of the things that don't work. Okay. So it can make way for the rest of us to have like a wonderful, fulfilling, less challenging existence, because everything is just so difficult, for so many people right now. Um, he did say that we are going to have to go back in again with this pandemic. However, he said it's going to be met with more resistance than the last time. And there's going to be a lot of people opposing this, that different countries are going to have different policies than other countries. And he said that's not going to work. We have to make these decisions as a planet, not just as a country. Oh, thank you so much, Jean. I always appreciate the donations. You guys are so sweet. Um, but he also said that with the pandemic coming, with this new big wave that we're about to have, he stated the need to protect our children. He said, because last time it didn't really affect them, and this time it is. And so he said, the best thing that we can do is keep them in. He also said that we need to have compassion for 45's followers. He called them lost sheep. And he said there are many, many beings on the other side, all the archangels, plus a lot of the Palladians, all of them that is in accordance with the Galactic Confederation, that are trying to steer them on the right path, because we want as many people to ascend as possible, right? We don't want to leave people behind, because then that means the next time they have an incarnation, it can't be here. It has to be someplace else that's third density. And so he spoke of this need to have compassion for these people. Oh, thank you, Miss Brazil. Oh, that's so sweet. And he said this is important, because he said we are all one. We are all one. And right now, they are the lost sheep. But we do come from the same creator. And they are our brothers and sisters. And the more we can shower them with love and compassion, the better chance they have at seeing the light, so to speak. And so he really did just stress, opening our hearts to them and sending them love instead of sending them hate. So someone says some are not going to allow us to help them. I'm not saying, and he didn't suggest that we try to shake them awake, okay? Now, because we know that that doesn't work. But we can plant seeds and we can send good energy. He also said it's going to be difficult for us to have compassion because of their upcoming actions. There are going to be things that his followers, 45's followers, are going to do that we are going to be seeing on the news soon, within the next few weeks. And it's going to make it challenging for us to care about them, to have compassion. But he said we still need to open our hearts to them. Oh, thank you, Martine. That is so sweet. And he did say that they will make the pandemic worse. So I think we know probably some of the things that they're going to do. And so all we can do is, because we can't shake anybody awake, but we can at least hold love in our hearts and not compromise our compassion and our integrity. He also talked about climate change. And he said to expect a lot more natural disasters, particularly for the rest of this month, August and September. He said that there's going to be an abundance of wildfires because our planet has grown too hot. And he said it needs to cool down, but the planet itself is going through its own purging, because the planet absorbed all that negative energy century after century after century. And we know that planets ascend along with the people. And so, it's going to be difficult for us. Oh, thank you, Renee. Thank you. But he stressed wildfires He did say earthquakes. He said something about some parts in, like, he was saying further west than me in the US, they were going to keep having, like, these low-level earthquakes. He was saying it was just gonna be, like, continuous. Um, Someone said the earth is in pain too. Yeah, it's sort of like all of us who are getting ready to ascend and, we're going through the awakening process. You know how, like, we're releasing toxic habits, toxic people, toxic situations? Well, the earth is too. Mother Earth, Gaia, she is releasing all of that at the same time. So we're shifting, the earth is shifting. And he also did mention hurricanes. And he did say that the hurricane season was going to start sooner than what's normal. So it's a lot of stuff going on, but it's moving us in the right direction. And oh, the other thing that he said too was a need to stock up on supplies again. So if you were like me, I stocked up on a lot of things. With this last pandemic, I shouldn't say last pandemic because it really didn't end. But now that we're getting this whole new wave, um, we need to stock up again. We need to prepare ourselves. And that was the point of, I think, him coming to me, was to give this message of preparation. Because if you know that something's coming, you can be better prepared for it. So you won't be, such a victim, that you will be like, okay, I got what I need. For me, it's always cat food because my cats are so picky, and paper products. So I've stocked up some, but I'm going to stock up more again for that reason. But he did give a lot of warnings. Oh, let me see who. Oh, thank you so much, Diana. I appreciate that. Yes, you know what? Blue Jean says, forewarned is forearmed. Exactly. It's not meant to scare us. And so I think that's exactly it, right? It gives us a little leverage. And I think when you're prepared, you feel better, don't you? It's when you just get hit by a surprise. But I think, he wanted us to be prepared, but he also wants us to have compassion for what's about to come up. Because he did say there are things that we're going to be seeing on the news that 45 supporters are going to be doing that we are not going to like. And the time frame with all of this starts July 23rd, and he was speaking about going through September. Now it's interesting because I'm supposed to go to Egypt the first week in September, right? Oh, thank you, Golden Lady. That's so sweet. Um, and so I asked him, I mean, it's like I have an archangel here, right? So I'm like, I put down the down payment. Will I be able to go to Egypt in the first week? And he said the timelines are continuously shifting. And he said, I wouldn't, he goes, if we stay on this timeline exactly the way it is, I'll be okay. But I will have to do a test before I come back into the country, and I'll have to self quarantine, even though I'm vaccinated, he said. So he said, it'll be okay. Um, Even though it won't be ideal getting back into the country, apparently, which is basically what I've gotten from the Rock Collective. Because I think I'm just supposed to go and it'll be okay. But of course, too, the down payment is fully refundable. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going, you know? So that was just such an amazing message. And then after he left, I picked up my phone and it said 333. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, talk about the synchronicity right there. I mean, that is just amazing. And to just have this beautiful, radiant being right there is just unbelievable. I am so blessed, so like in awe of all of this. Do I think New England will go in lockdown? Well, here's what he said. He said that we should go into lockdown pretty quickly. Um, and I think from his perspective, the sooner the better, because he knows what's coming. And he is saying this is preventable. This is preventable. We don't actually have to go through this. But he is concerned about the schools because he did absolutely talk about children. And he said, this is when we need to protect them. And oh, so yeah, Palma mentioned my brother. Yeah, that is amazing because this morning he was like, did just get something was going on in the house? Like, and I really thought he was talking about because he's nearer the road and we live near the fire station, the police station, and the hospital. And I was like, "Oh, they're first responders?" And he's like, "I don't know. There could have been. There could have been something because I kept seeing somebody out of the corner of my eye. I don't know what it was, and I just couldn't sleep." So, any weather-related things coming to the Northeast. He was talking in general. I don't think we're going to get hit with all the wildfires like some places, but he did say the hurricane season's going to start earlier than expected and more out west of us. Like he didn't say there's going to be a big, huge earthquake, but like these little continual ones, like just I think enough to be annoying. Um, Somebody asked about schools. I mean, if I wouldn't send my child to school, and if they're under 12, there's not going to be a vaccine for them for a few more months. So I would be really cautious. But yeah, I don't he didn't say anything about one big huge earthquake, just continual little ones again and again and again. So, Melissa asks about another insurrection at the Capitol. His words were that we were not going to like what they were about to do. It will be on the news. They will try something clearly, but he also talked about how they're going to be making the pandemic worse. And he's like, kind of like, oh, like it doesn't have to be worse. It actually can be a lot better. And so much of this is preventable if we just, wear our masks, sanitize your hands. Don't go out if it's not necessary, because this is just all about prevention at this point. Yeah, I think Florida's going to have a tough time. Yeah, I see someone mentioned Florida. Will they succeed? Well, not overall, no, because we're heading in the right direction towards fourth density. But his point was we are all brothers and sisters, and we don't want to leave our brothers and sisters behind. He called them lost sheep, right? So we need to get them to sort of wake up, see the light, um, and but to do it in like a loving way. So So I see some of the language that some of you are using, and it's pretty harsh. So I don't think you're getting his message at all. So, he is coming from that perspective that we are all children of God. And if you hate one of them, then it's like hating yourself because we are all one, right? The law of one. And so you can't keep hating them that much if you want to heal them. That's the thing. They're not just going to go away, right? And so what do we do? I mean, we're stuck with them and hating them, we know that's not working. So what if we actually sent them love and compassion? That's what he was suggesting. Exactly. Terry says, open your heart. Yes. Yep. Yes. And yes, compassion and even though I think we're all sort of sick and tired of all of this, we are just so I mean, I don't know about you, but I am so ready to just get back to normal life. I want to travel, I want to go shopping, I want to eat out again, but I also want to be safe. It's not just is it not worth me getting sick, but it's not worth me giving to other people, So I thought I would just finish this up with seeing oh, I saw somebody donated. Oh, thank you, Gianna. The TS butterfly. I love that. Um, I'm just going to finish by pulling a couple of cards from the Archangel deck to see if, the Archangels have any parting wisdom for us. You know what? Not all of them are going to come around. They're not. The goal, I think, is to get as many as possible. Okay, so I have somebody right here that doesn't seem to get it. Yeah, okay, so you have people in your family that are 45 supporters. And so what do? Well, you can't use logic and reason, right? Because they're sort of brainwashed. So what he is saying is open your heart and send them love. They don't even have to know you're doing it. They don't have to know. Okay? We are all one. We are all connected. Our fate is intertwined with theirs, isn't it? And it's obviously clear that our fate's intertwined with theirs because look what happens when they don't wear masks and do the things that they're supposed to do. Okay. All right. So the first card I get is the Page of Michael. How appropriate. Um, truthful, perceptive, analytical, an exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Yes, this is going to be a challenge, isn't it? But you know what? We do have what it takes, don't we? We are good people. We are caring people. And and I think by being prepared, we will have what it takes. Change your life, Archangel Shamuel. A sudden revelation that offers freedom, a break free of procrastination, embrace the opportunities that change things. How appropriate. So, you know what? I think that there's going to be a lot of revelations, not just a sudden one, but there's a lot of things we're going to be learning, that we're going to be hearing. It's going to be challenging. But you know what? I like how it says, but it offers freedom. Oh, I love it when you guys send stickers. That's adorable, Rosa. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And it brings opportunities. Embrace those opportunities because you know what those opportunities are? Those are opportunities for us to be of service to others. This is how we can further our own ascension, our own awakening, is by being of service to others. Okay, one more card for Michael. Insights, insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. Okay, yeah, this is a great time to go into meditation, to be introspective, to be reflective. And you know, as we're going through all of this, because I think we're going to be having ascension symptoms. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thank you. That's adorable. I love the avocado. Um, as we're going through all of this, it's going to interfere with our sleep. As the earth is going through all of this, well, we're connected to the earth and it's going through something. So that means that there's all this energy shifting. We're going to be more tired. And it said, seek relief from stress. So practice self care. Over the next couple of months, do things just for you. Do things that you enjoy. If you love painting, paint. If you like to read, read. If you like to do yoga, do yoga. I would suggest doing it at home though. Um, but self care is so important. You know, it makes such a difference. But, you know, I hope that this message is enlightening for all of you and that it gets you sort of ready for what's coming up, that it makes you feel more prepared because it was like this an amazing encounter. I've never had anything like this. But at the same time, I knew that I couldn't just keep this to myself. And I have to say, psychically, I was not picking up on all of this. I mean, I kept telling you guys that September was going to be a huge month, right? I kept telling you that. Um, but I think I didn't realize just how much. Oh, thank you, prayer warrior. So, all right, I will leave everyone with that. And I just want to say thank you for letting me be of service to you by doing this, by sharing this message, because this is how I am of service. And this is helping me on my ascension path. And, you know, for all of you to further your ascension path, ask every day, how can I serve? And, you know, it shifts your mindset a little bit. And, you know, this is a great time to help others. All right, everyone. Thank you again. Bye.